Incredible, just absolute dominating performances where 2-0s happened, but we have had a couple of crushing performances in game one from one team, a crushing performance in game two, and I think a lot of it has come down to these drafts.
Yeah, it definitely does. Some of these teams, they're just stacked up equally talent-wise, right? So if you get that small strategical advantage, yeah, you're going to look to abuse it. I think Snow Avalanche, and it's interesting, I mean, they're hovering over Lance, which is pretty popular as a first pick, but they tend to not go with the meta, like of all of these teams. And I thought it was very interesting to see them be the team to win the live championship and not doing what everybody else is doing.
Yeah, it's true. And they put a lot of emphasis on Vox in the end of last season, which did not work out for them, but they did quickly kind of swap it up and found something that was working. And today they say Lance is going to be the start of what works for them to close out this series. We do see G2 hovering Adagio. They pick up Adagio. I do like this pick, of course. It is very strong.
I mean, if there were any team in Europe to actually take a 2-0 today, I would argue it probably should be Snow Avalanche, right? They did come off the back of the championships, winning the entire thing. But I'm curious about the draft here, because they've certainly left a lot of power open for G2. That's going to be a Kestrel paired up with the Adagio. How do Avalanche want to answer?
Well, honestly, the one thing you don't want to do here is Kroll. If we learned our lessons, Kroll into the Kestrel is not where you want to play. I would like to see them pick something that does have some poke potential and counters this Kestrel and Adagio. The Catherine, however, is interesting. I would actually think this is a pretty good pick because you are able to stun and shut down both the Adagio and Kestrel. At this point, you've got a really great front line. Someone like a Scarf would actually be a really great way to round out this draft, and we know Weldemar loves Scarf.
Does Weldemar play Scarf? I can't remember if he was the best Scarf player I've seen in recent history or not.
I don't know, but he does like to take the ride on the furry dragon.
As you said, I mean, it makes a lot of sense. Celeste accomplishes a lot of similar things to Scarf. You have that long-range poke, burst damage. You can build up those broken mist stacks and go from there. I think Scarf may be a little easier to execute and would make sense since you have Waldemar, but I think Celeste can get a lot done here.
Yeah, I definitely think Celeste is still an alright pick. Scarf generally is probably more preferred against the Adagio Kestrel lineup, but with the Taka, they are going to have some inroads to get.
All right, we're on to the Halcyon Fold, ladies and gentlemen. Snow Avalanche are 1-0 up over G2 Esports and 1 win away from day 2. Let's pass it on over to our shoutcasters, Excoundrel and Sona.
Well, if today has told us anything, analysts, that we're going to get another 3 games. So Snow Avalanche have already lost this by all
just the way it works. It's the European rule that you have to go to a third game. It's like Fight Club. Like, you can't talk about it, but we all know it's what's going to happen. Actually, all these teams are just playing themselves.
But seriously, I do want to pick up on something. There is a good composition here to deal with protecting the Celeste. And protecting the Celeste is obviously going to be your key parameter for success here for Snow Avalanche, because, you know, you're going up against Taka, you're going up against the Kestrel, lots of burst damage coming through. Taka, probably considered one of the best heroes to deal with Celeste in the game. So, you know, you've got good defense mechanisms here for Snow Avalanche. It's just about how they're going to use them. Again, Taka's very good at dealing with Lance. You know, he can, very slippery little fox Taka is, and he's very good at dealing with what Lance provides in terms of his quite telegraphed forms of CC. However, Catherine helps accentuate that protection for Celeste. You know, he's point and click Catherine. It's a good outcome.
However, Catherine into Kestrel is quite difficult because Kestrel can just active camo before you get there. It means that you can't really get the stun down. She can then stun you with the active camo. It can be quite good. I mean, at the moment, Bastion's doing a good job of working around Redix with that active, but when we get to the later team fights, it's all going to be about good blast tremors, good helios to be able to actually counteract.
I completely agree, and the blast tremors will be the big thing. Also, blast tremors coming.
The ability of that Kestrel to get away.
Sure. Now, deal with some of the bursts that Taka will have as well. You know, you stop him from using abilities, he becomes less slippery. Lance has the ability to lock him down. You know, it seems good. The only issue I have is that it's going to be a kind of one-dimensional damage composition. Although, yes, you know, you will see Lance pick up some damage in his own right. He's not going to be that sort of late-game damage threat that you're going to see from the Celeste. So almost in the late game, it's that one-dimensional type of damage threat of just the Celeste, and you just do as much as you can to protect her.
Well, we've seen it work out earlier today. The question is, can the champions manage to win it out against G2? Of course, Snow Avalanche won the first game of this best of 3. looking to be the first team to solidify a 2-0 on the first day of this Evil 8 Split 1 in the autumn season. Leading up to Worlds, I think, is the big thing. Snow Avalanche really should be taking both of these splits as training for Worlds. They want to win them, obviously, but they've already got their position solidified, and they'll be playing in Hollywood in wherever Hollywood is, Los Angeles, I think it is. Dark Potato's going to take a little bit of damage here. Kenchik's going to put the pain down. Can Dark Potato get away? Goes into the Kaku, but gets knocked out of it with that auto attack. And now Dark Potato not in the best position at all. Going to jump back onto Bastion, but Kenchik is just around the corner. Dark Potato should fall as the first kill. Gets back into Kaku though, and Voldemar might actually be the first blood. Hondor and Redix able to take him out. Bastion's going to chase in here as well. Walks straight into an active camo stun and now has to try and get away with the Storm Guard and the Merciless Pursuit. Should be able to get himself away, but G2 getting the first kill and Dark Potato getting out alive.
Speaking of Hondor, I need to illustrate a little bit about this chap. Now, we don't know too much personally, but he hasn't had much exposure in the Evil 8 thus far. However, Face, G2 manager, speaks very highly of him as a player. I believe he's had some Challenger experience as well. And he's coming into this fresh-faced into the G2 lineup that they felt like they needed a revamp after the European Live Championships, and thus far he is that roam. He's come and had this Adagio for his sort of his second appearance, I guess, because this is the second game into the series, and they're going to be looking to try and win this one out and do the reverse sweep, which we've seen a couple of times today throughout the Evil 8. So Hondor looking to make his impact as the new G2.
That he is, and Hollywood thankfully is in Los Angeles and California, obviously, where the TLC Theatre. Amazing time at the first weekend.
I don't know, man. I thought it was in Iceland. Sorry, I thought we were going to Iceland.
I'm sorry, man. We were going to go to Reykjavik. I know you love Reykjavik, but
I do love Reykjavik.
Not this time, I'm afraid. Speaking of Reykjavik, I don't know where I was going with that. I was going to try and make a pun about Wrecked, but I can't get it in my mind at this point. Hunter's going to put some damage down onto Voldemar. Bastion taking a little bit of pain as well off towards the side. Voldemar's taking a huge amount of hurt, actually, there from Hundor, who only has a fountain on his side. Impale comes down on towards that Adagio, but active camo is there. Redix ready to stun up anyone who jumps in. Dark Potato has gone Stormcrown first here, actually, on the attacker. Let's talk about that.
Sona, I thought of a pun. Do you want to hear
do
it?
Man.
Speaking of Iceland, G2 playing this extremely cool.
Oh, please don't do it anymore. Talk about Stormcrown. Stormcrown.
Yeah, talk about Stormcrown. Okay. Yes, Stormcrown. It's like I said, this is a build that I think we'll continue to see on Taka to Scream. We saw it previous to the buffs to Stormcrown. Taka has received no nerfs personally, and Stormcrown has only got better from the previous patch, so it's something that makes a lot of sense if you favoured that build path previously, that we will continue to see. What it allows Taka to do is farm the jungle more effectively.
And jump in and kill Voldemar is what it allows him to do. Voldemar Reykjavik right there gets absolutely destroyed by that Taka jumping in.
Yeah, Reykjavik. Kind of, I take it. I'll take it, Sona.
Kenchik's going to take a little bit of pain as well from Hodor, and Redix one shot, one kill. One more glimmer would have been enough there. Bastion's going to jump on towards that Adagio, but with the Storm Guard needs to be a little bit careful. He gets forced away as well. G2 playing really well in the early game of this matchup. I don't know why I say it as if I'm surprised. Like,
told you, man.
They had to.
Just EU games. They're always best of threes.
Boys. Everyone is so even at the moment. It's actually really impressive to see how close all of these teams are matched up, because yeah, like, take it like this. Snow Avalanche were champions of the summer split. Team Secret won their game 2-1 earlier today. Now we see G2 pushing Snow Avalanche in the second game. If they can win this, and whoever wins 2-1, everyone is so evenly matched, and we're not going to see anyone sort of as that standout performer anymore. It's going to be a lot more competitive, a lot closer between these teams. Obviously, it might be because they're just re-synergizing. You know, a lot of teams have changed members. They're learning update 122 as well, but at the moment, it looks like all of these teams are incredibly evenly matched.
Fountain forced out there. Early Stormcrown really starting to hit hard for Jack Potato. Now remember, what the benefit of getting Stormcrown early is it allows you to farm more readily in the jungle, especially since we're seeing a Crystal Power route being taken following the Stormcrown. I love this, by the way. I love this Crystal Power route. Is that Blazing Salvo and Heavy Prism? Or rather, no,
he's got the Swift Shooter, which he's had from the start, and he's got a Heavy Prism.
So I love this, by the way, because you have the on-hit damage now. And now maybe you work towards... Well, it's not going to be Aftershock, right? Because that doesn't use a Heavy Prism. So maybe work towards just flat-out burst in this
Glass.
situation. You get everything that you need that Crystal Power doesn't allow you to do so in the jungle by using Stormcrown. You allow
Voldemort's
to
dead.
farm easily.
Voldemort is dead in lane, just chased out there by Dark Potato. Dark Potato even went straight through a core collapse and got stunned up, but just able to chase down Voldemort. And G2 really showing their stuff with this composition. You know, they're going to get the turret as well. Then they can turn their attentions over to Kentisik. Redix is taken quite low. Blast Tremor comes out, and actually Redix does fall. And now Bash is going to try and chase onto Dark Potato, puts the flare down. There's the stun. Double stun with the Impale, and Dark Potato's dead. Hundle very, very late with the fountain there. He wasn't holding the door for anyone. He wants to get away for himself. Should be able to retreat away back towards his turret. Impale lands, but there's the reflex block. And Hundle will just about survive for now.
Yeah, we speaking of worlds, by the way, they're being held at the Chinese Theatre, Sona. Now, a lot of Americans will know how iconic that is, but a lot of Europeans might not know. The Chinese Theatre is one of the most iconic venues in Hollywood.
It's where all the red carpet events are held.
Yeah, it's a huge deal. I mean, this is where you have A-list celebrities for movies go, and we
I
are
wouldn't call
having
myself
the
A-list, mate. I'm like B+ maybe.
A-list celebrities go there for stuff. So we're having Vainglory Worlds there. That's pretty huge.
It is very huge. And you know what else is huge? Comeback that Snow Avalanche need to make if they want to get back into this game. It's 2,000 gold, their disadvantage already. They've lost out a turret. Solar Blade and Tenjibo have been finished on Kentisik now, though, so it's going to have quite a bit of damage on that Lance. And you've got the Catherine building that fountain and contraption, which is so powerful in towards Taka. That Dark Potato going to have to struggle a little bit more with his positional control around these fights.
Yeah, that contraption is super important. Having the ability to flare out the Taka when he comes in is fantastic. I didn't really get the chance to really talk about why Stormcrown into CP is powerful on Taka. Essentially, when you play CP Taka, you're so good at dealing damage to heroes. Your problems lie when you try to farm the jungle. What Stormcrown does is that alleviates your ability, or alleviates some of the drawbacks of Crystal Power Taka, allows you to farm the jungle, gives you on-hit damage, and then allows you to build into a Crystal Power route, which gives you the burst necessary to deal with something like Celeste. A Weapon Power Taka probably wouldn't be as good versus Celestia. A straight on-hit Taka probably wouldn't be as good. The Crystal Power Taka allows him to deal the damage necessary to blow Celeste up when he gets the opportunity, and that's what I really love about this particular build. It gives Taka the best of both worlds, and gives him combat viability too, with a bit of cooldown reduction and that on-hit damage. So honestly, I'm loving this this idea for Dark Potato. You can see there Waldemar takes a lot of damage from the X-Retsu already, and yeah, I mean this is what you expect to see. He's gone Broken Myth too. Fantastic build path. Something that we had never seen previously with Stormcrown, really. Never really seen this with Stormcrown previously.
We have seen the Broken Myth Taka before, but not
yeah.
Stormcrown build that we've seen in this game. Redix will block out that stun. They won't be able to quite take down the turret yet. One shot, one kill doesn't connect. There's the Impale as well, missing from Kentisik. The Solar Storm will come down. Redix takes a huge amount of pain, but with the Fountain will keep himself alive. Jumps into the active camo as well. Look at Dark Potato on Voldemort, taking him down so low so quickly. And Snow Avalanche having to retreat away here from G2. Redix will get impaled once again, and the Tension Bow and Sorrow Blade doing huge amounts of work. Eve finished now on towards Redix, but Hundor has to get chased away here by Bashan and Kentisik. Those White Walkers not allowing him to escape. Anyway, he's sacrificing himself to let Dark Potato away, but Dark Potato is not Jon Snow. Or I think it's Brandon Stark, isn't it, technically? Hodor, once again, a worthy sacrifice there, as the White Walkers of Snow Avalanche chase him down.
Yeah. Hold the door. Oh, wait. Is that a spoiler now? I don't know.
It definitely is now that you've said it was a spoiler.
I'm just gonna. It's been. Okay, I'm gonna say it's been quite a few months, and I'm just gonna leave it there.
If you haven't watched it by now, missing out.
Yeah. I apologize, Mufasa. You know he dies. Aladdin.
Darth Vader is Luke's father. Bash is going to take some pain here again. There's the Solar Storm. Actually, Core Collapse going to connect onto Redix. Dark Potato trying to get onto Voldemort. Once again, the Celeste is the target. The best Celeste in the EU, but will get taken down by the best Taka in EU as well. Dark Potato able to take him out. Snow Avalanche on the back foot. The turret is the target here for Redix. Should be able to take that one down. Dark Potato can jump onto Kentisik, but Bashan actually might be mispositioned here. X-Retsu comes in. Bashan's fallen. And now G2 can look towards that next turret if they wish. They've got a small minion wave here. They can't get the ace, of course, because Kentisic's already backed away, but assuming they can dodge out this Impale, which they can with the Chitin, they should be able to take the turret down and get away towards safety as well.
Yeah, they're getting a good lot here, and I think a lot of this is
looking for the chase. Impale comes down, there's the burst, and already we see Redix is dead, but Kentisik will fall to Dark Potato. Core Collapse does not connect, and Voldemar now needs to try and take down Dark Potato with just those Helios. Misses that one there. Here comes Dark Potato jumping on towards the Celeste, and he'll take him out once again. Dark Potato is absolutely huge. 5 broken mid stacks on that Taka, being able to clean up shop once again.
And also, what else this Crystal Power allows is that if things do go wrong, obviously you heal more through your Kaku.
Yeah.
So you get hit by a Celeste Supernova, doesn't matter, straight into Kaku, regenerate, go back in, and oh my word, Dark Potato. This build path has single-handedly given him the tools needed to take out the only threat from Snow Avalanche right here. Love it. Absolutely love it. I can't stress how important it is. You combine that also with Agent of Wrath, you get even more on-hit damage, which is fantastic. You also have the option to go for Redix with this on-hit damage as well. We know Redix is a fantastic Kestrel, although he has been receiving the brunt of the punishment, while Dark Potato himself, look at the objective control there as well.
Well, they do get the Goldmine Blast. Tremor comes out. Kentisik is the front line here, really. Hundor's going to use the Fountain to keep Dark Potato alive. There's the X-Retsu on towards Kentisik. Dark Potato there. One shot, one kill will come out, and Dark Potato survives. Gets away from the Lance in time now. Voldemar across the wall. X-Retsu is available here for Dark Potato. Voldemar's getting taken incredibly low. Will fall to Dark Potato. Bastion stun up with the active camo as well. And G2 absolutely dominant in this second game versus Snow Avalanche. The reigning champions being taken down by G2. They get the ace. 10 kills to 5. And they're going to look towards those Vayne crystal turrets as well.
Have they got the time? I don't think they do, so no. I think this is too early in the game, and obviously with Kentisik respawning now, they're not going to be able to pick off the game just yet. But I really thought we would see more Taka with this Storm Crown coming through, and it proving like that has been the case. Definitely think it's going to become more and more popular. I almost think Taka is an insane power pick now, and that coming from me, Sona, you know that's a big deal because I absolutely hate Taka in most situations. You know, there was Playoff Beard just tweeted moderately recently, I think teams need to put less pressure on Taka. I agree in a lot of senses, but now with this build path, especially in certain situations, I don't think Taka's like a first pick in every situation, but against something like a Celeste, with this build path specifically, it just seems so strong.
Gonna look for the fight once again. The Kraken is there. Good blast tremor though. Kentisik in the frontline. Burst comes out. Kentisik's already fallen though, and Hundor still tanking up this Kraken. Bastion just about getting taken out, while Hundor able to get his way away across towards the side. Dark Potato here doesn't really have a huge amount of energy, so might not want to jump on towards Voldemar's Celeste. However, they can look to the push once again. Push up the wave, go back towards the Kraken. 13 seconds on Kentisik, 16 seconds on Bastion. You've got the Storm Crown. You'll take it down incredibly quickly.
Look how quickly with the Storm Crown he starts to deal damage to Kraken with this Crystal Power build too. He's 8-1 and 2 by the way. Shatterglass, love the Shatterglass. Think it's an incredibly useful item. You know this almost eliminates with the buffs to Storm Crown. It almost eliminates the need for Aftershock because you're almost doing exactly the same damage output with this buff to Storm Crown. You also get that cooldown reduction too, so you don't need to go down the Aftershock route. It gives you better farming potential. You control objectives more readily. And then you can go straight into a full Crystal Power build, allowing you to be the competent assassin that we know Taka is, but also really alleviates the problems that CP Taka has, which is all of his farming potential. It's I feel like I'm focusing on it a lot. I'm also drawing away from the fact that you've got Redix, who's built very well for elongated fights in their backline. People aren't going to be focusing him because of how much of a threat Dark Potato is. He can just sit there with Breaking Point and build up stacks. And against the Taka, there isn't that. Look, exactly. I won't even talk about it. So
let's going to jump onto Voldemar once again. There's not really much you can do against it at all. Kentisik actually will fall as well. Redix surviving with the active camo with the heals coming out from Hundo as well. It's another ace for G2. They've got the Kraken pushing in as well. They're going to absolutely dominate the reigning champions here in Europe. Going to get taken to a Game 3 on day 1 of the Evil 8 here in Europe. And I just want to say this before you break down this game too much, Xscoundrel. Thus far today, Team A or Blue Side have 0 wins. Team B have 11 wins. Is it all about the draft now in Vainglory?
It's certainly looking like draft has become more and more important. Especially that counter pick phase. That last pick seems to be incredibly important right now. How weird is that? Because previously Team A, the ability to prioritize a pick like Finn You know, that first pick Finn, those first
Kite around it and stop talking from moving too much, whereas Core Collapse, it's a one-and-done kind of deal. Also, the Adagio Roam really worked out well, Humanist.
It worked, but I still don't think it's the best choice. Like, I kind of freeze up on that one because honestly, I feel a lot of these picks, and Fujiya and I were talking about it, I think they're really picking to deny them from their opponent and then just realizing, hey, we're just going to put it in Rome. It's been working. We've seen more Rome Adagios today than we saw like in all of last season.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, we're into the draft for Game 3. G2 bans away Kestrel, Avalanche gets rid of Samuel, and G2 pick up the Lyra, obviously a very strong first pick. This does leave Adagio Lance available for Avalanche, though.
And we haven't seen Samuel slide through the draft too much in the latter portion of this day. Teams putting a lot of priority on getting rid of him, but with the Lyra first pick, as already stated, we do leave the Adagio open for Avalanche. Once again, a very powerful pick, very high win rate. I still prefer the Adagio to find himself in a carry position when possible. I think last game, as Humanist was alluding to, yes, the Adagio was roaming on the team that won, but it was very much had to do with what Dark Potato was able to execute on that
definitely.
Taka. Baron!
Baron, baby!
Dun, 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 dun.
In Game 3!
Woo! So, I mean, okay, with the Adagio here, Weapon Baron could be pretty OP.
Is it jungle? Is it lane? Where do you even put this guy?
It's a Rome
really
Adagio
tough.
again,
It's
baby.
well, if Baron goes to lane, you assume it's going to be the Rome Adagio. You could put it in the jungle, but you're going to be trying to dodge that Lance for quite a while.
Well, you're definitely giving up some priority picks in order to play this new hero. We do see the Lance coming in, which is always a nuisance. With the Lyra, there's going to be a lot of crowd control effects coming through on the side of G2 Esports to protect the Celeste. Avalanche, their third final pick. This will tell us all the things about where these heroes are going to end up.
Tell us, show us everything.
Give it.
Reveal yourself to us.
Strategies all out.
Gosh!
Whoa! What? Okay, let's try and break this down real quick before we hop into game. We'll talk about G2 Esports during the game.
The Bright Bulwark only lasts a couple seconds.
It'd be cool to see the Yummy Cat and Frenzy into the ultimate out of Baron. That'd be pretty sweet.
Ooh.
Some
All right.
ion cannons, some porcupine
Yeah.
mortars.
Yeah.
Let's get it.
Let's see what happens here as we hop onto the Halcyon Fold for the final game of Europe of this first week of the autumn season. We've got G2 Esports up against Snow Avalanche and your Shoutcasters, Excoundrel and Sona.
What a game to end things off with. Baron being seen in lane here for Snow Avalanche. Sona, I guess you're excited.
Yeah, I'm really not sure about Baron in lane. Like, he was played earlier today. He lost. I think Mouse played him, if I recall correctly. We didn't actually get to watch the game, but he lost earlier on, and now we're going to see Snow Avalanche trying to crack him out in lane. I expect it to be Weapon, in all honesty. Weapon works well with his Porcupine Mortar. You get better... Get your jump on your jump jets is reduced cooldown as well, which just means you can get it up a little bit faster. I think the cast time is actually slightly lower rather than reduced cooldown, but Double Crystal might work as well. He has already got a Weapon Blade in his inventory, however that could just be to clear the waves out.
Yeah, I'm not totally sure about Double Crystal. I think it's far too risky in this particular situation, especially against a Lyra, for instance. I actually really think a Weapon Power and a Crystal Power...
Waldemar's going to take a lot of damage here. There's another Helio. There's the Solar Supernova. And Redix will get the kill. It was just mispositioned by him there, and he got caught in the Bright Bulwark as well, which stops him from being able to jump away with those jump jets.
Yeah, and that's the point. I think, if you Lyra portal into Bright Bulwark, you're kind of really putting huge amounts of pressure onto Baron, who's going to instantaneously become a target for Impale, and then he just becomes such an easy blow-up for Celeste. He is going Weapon Power, by the way, so this is going to be Weapon Power Baron, which I think makes more sense. I think that's Crystal Power was a little bit too risky. I think Weapon Power, he gives you that potential to do large amounts of splash damage as well. So we'll have to see.
We will have to see. And the thing about Voldemort on this Baron, Baron, his rocket launcher, his heroic perk gives him 130% splash damage, and that's going to scale off his weapon power as well. So he can be incredibly powerful if you're using him effectively. The worry is, of course, has the team been able to practice him enough to use him effectively? Has the team been able to practice him into enough combinations as well to use him effectively, because we don't know if they played into a Lance, Lyra, Celeste before. We don't know if they played with the Koshka alongside him before. You'd hope they have, but you never know. This is maybe just a backup strategy for them. Bastion's going to take a lot of pain here. Dark Potato walking forward. One more poke on towards Bastion will be enough. Voldemar trying to get away. Will not escape the Principal Arcanum coming out from the Lyra. I think actually that was just an auto attack rather than anything else. Hundor able to shut the door on towards the Baron, and now the Radix can push up that wave. Kensik takes a bit of pain from the Bright Bulwark as well, and they can look towards this turret.
So my worry for so if this is Weapon Power Baron, right? At least Crystal Power Baron kind of makes...
He's got a heavy steel, mate. If he's not building Weapon Power Baron now, he's done something wrong.
Okay, I phrased that incorrectly. This is Weapon Power Baron.
Bastion's died! Bastion's died to the Principal Arcanum. Hundor's now the target. Voldemar will pick up his first kill of the game, and now has to try and get away. Good, Githyan will stun him up. There's the Impale as well, and Voldemar's dead. Now Kentisik the target. He'll fall as well. Almost an ace there for G2. Bastion just respawning in time to stop the ace.
Yeah. So
what's your complaint, mate? What is the problem with Weapon Power Baron here? Why is it not good?
Yeah. I mean, there's so much going on, right? I just can't even... So how does Weapon Power Baron fit into this particular composition? What does having a splash damage ranged carry do for you? Like, you have Koshka. You lock down a single target. Surely it does make sense to go double Crystal Power. You need to think this through. Like, what does Weapon Power Baron offer in this situation apart from buff him with Agent of Wrath, and you could have some fairly heavy hitting rockets coming through from him. Other than that, what are you bringing to the table?
Well,
not a lot.
Wave clear. His wave clear is pretty strong.
Yes. So that's
the thing that you bring to the table.
Okay. So the siege from G2 is fine, but that's not where their advantages against this composition lie. You know, their advantages lie that honestly, if it comes to a straight-up teamfight composition, then it looks like it's going to be stronger. Although, wow, look at the damage coming up from Kentisik.
Kentisik will pick up the kill now. Hundor, the target as well, should go down. It's a double for Kenty. And Kentisik on this Koshka starting to get that cat pouncing onto the correct target. Dark Potato's going to roll in. However, there's 3 members of Avalanche here. Is he sure he wants to do this? I don't think he is. The Porcupine Mortars coming out from Voldemar will push Dark Potato away, but he survives. And he keeps his turret quite alive for now. Yeah,
that was a play to try and keep the turret alive more than anything, I would say. I don't think he was expecting to get anything out of it. Again, G2 probably a little bit over-aggressive, given that I think that their composition hinges on trying to combine Lyra and this Lance in particular to lock someone down and then allow Redix to do as much damage as physically possible. But yeah, I'm just... Again, there isn't much protection for Voldemar either. You know, there isn't really anything... in terms of appeal for him. You've got Koshka who's going to go...
damage! Holy moly, Supernova on him does 399 damage. It's a Shatterglass first from Redix. He's going to absolutely melt through this Snow Avalanche lineup. Now Dark Potato goes in, but Kentisik wants to jump in for himself. Pouncy Fun is the call from him. Going to try and see what he can do. He has got that Yummy Cabinet Frenzy as well, and there's no Reflex block yet on G2, so if they go for the fight, definitely get a huge amount of damage down.
How far is Redix? He's halfway to level 6 right now. I think that'll be a huge thing for him. They're waiting for the Kentisik to go in here.
Bastion has fallen already, though. Dark Potato able to get in and out very quickly. Kentisik not quite in the position he wants to be for these fights. Hundor is low, though. Yummy Pouncy Fun comes in along with the Twirly Death. Those names every time, and we're going to see Dark Potato get the kill here. Joe's in with the Githyan Wall once again. Jump Jet's used by Voldemar to get away. But at the moment, it's looking like G2 might take this one. They might sweep out, do the reverse sweep here on Snow Avalanche.
Okay, so we're going to break this down into real basic terms. Compositionally.
That's the sort of terms I like.
I love basic terms. Compositionally,
give me some
from
simplicity.
Snow Avalanche. You have a ranged weapon power carry that excels really in a kiting scenario. He will be doing large amounts of splash damage, a little bit like Crystal Power Vox in the weapon power form. And he is put with a jungler that likes to do that. Try and isolate a singular target. Has no peeling potential, and I think what was a denial pick of the Adagio to go into the Roam, where his only peel is Justice, which is very easily countered by Crucible. Why? Surely you go Crystal Power Baron in the sense that you are basically looking to blow people up. The whole composition makes literally zero sense to me.
Now, you're beginning to sound like the European Fuji. Here comes the burst of judgment, though. We already see the kill one member of G2 has fallen. Kensick's going to look for Dark Potato and Medics as well. Hundor not able to survive for now, but Snow Avalanche trying to just clean up kills really more than anything else. G2 are ahead on gold, well, ever so slightly ahead on gold, ahead on kills, and if they play this properly, as you say, their composition works out a lot better. Redix takes a huge amount of pain from Kendisic though, but there's the Impale into the Helios, into the Order Attacks, into the kill. And that cat has fallen. One of his 9 lives gone, already lost 3 of them, only has 6 more remaining in this game.
Yeah, and that's the thing, you know, the G2 composition makes a lot of sense. You've got ways to be aggressive and defensive. G2 Redix has to be careful because the scout trap picks him up.
So what does Redix need to be?
Careful!
Well, obviously he wasn't careful enough. Voldemort now going to try and push that turret down a little bit. I wonder if this weapon power Baron can work a little bit like Saw for, you know, sieging turrets, trying to push them down quickly. Doesn't of course have the attack speed perhaps that you'd like, but can harass from range really effectively.
Your siege is awful because you've got a Koshka.
I mean generally weapon power Baron. I don't mean specifically in this composition.
Oh yeah, you know, I think in a way, yes, potentially. He's got good zonal control even as weapon power. That could maybe be a thing, but both defensively and offensively, G2's composition makes a lot of sense. Whereas, okay, Hunter maybe
Hunter's going to take a lot of damage. Porcupine Mortar's doing a lot of work. There is the core collapse on Bash and Yummy Cabinet Frenzy onto Redix though, and they need Dark Potato in this fight. He's going to jump in, misses the Impale though. It's a joke poke and Bash and now the target. Kendisic trying to retreat off towards the bottom side. Voldemort doesn't have enough energy for the jump jets just quite yet. Kendisic's going to re-jump in onto Hundor, but gets locked down with the core collapse and with that Impale. And here comes Dark Potato. Voldemort now just short of energy on jump jets. He needs 1 no. He was literally 1 energy short of the jump jets and did get taken down by Dark Potato. Bash on the final target. They'll get the turret. They can look for the kill as well with the Impale. There's the ace just in time. Kendisic now respawned and G2 take a commanding lead in the game.
Well. Looks like Stormcrown is making yet another appearance here, and it's now for Dark Potato. This item, I think, is just going to be the linchpin, or it's going to be the piece de resistance of every on-hit build right now, because it's just going to provide you with so much on-hit damage. It's going to give you the cooldown reduction that you need for certain builds. I'm thoroughly looking forward to it. I think the cooldown reduction on Lance is really good as well. You can land more Impales, you can try and get more Githian walls off. Your combat roll becomes more easily usable too. Yeah, I'm loving this this inclusion of this item in multiple on-hit builds today. I think it's working pretty well. But like I said, you know, if you land an Impale on literally anybody, I'm talking about literally anybody, even Koshka, then they die on Snow Avalanche. Like, Dark Potato does not need to be fussy. In fact, he can use defense. It's probably even better to use defensive Impales to try and peel for Redix, because then Koshka can't do anything because she's used Pouncy Fan already. You know, she follows up with Yummy Catnip Frenzy, but that gets reflex blocked, and suddenly, you know, the Koshka is a very dead kitty, unfortunately. It's again, it's an interesting situation to be in here. I just don't think the composition from Snow Avalanche makes a huge amount of sense. Although I do like the build from Koshka. I will praise her on that. I do like the build path for Koshka. I think Shattered Glass First is again the item of choice. But we have a fight.
Yeah, Impale onto Bastion there. The Helios, time after time, burst doesn't even manage to connect. Solar Storm used as well. Voldemort having to retreat on that Baron, tries to get himself away. G2 able to complete another clean kill there, and Voldemort, oh, he was not paying attention. He was not paying attention. He will pay with his life. Taken down by that Celeste, not able to do very much. Voldemort's not had a good series, in all honesty. Well, we didn't see the first game, but last game I think he went 0-7. This game he's 1-5. It's the consistency we were talking about before today. Yummy Cabinet Frenzy comes out, but Kendisic not able to chase on towards Redix. He's going to get taken down as well. Good Githian wall. There is the Impale from Bastion, from Dark Potato onto Bastion once again. Going to be able to chase down this Adagio pretty effectively. Redix looking for it. Here comes Voldemort. Porcupine Mortar picks up 1. Jump in. Voldemort decides against it. Should have gone for it, man. Should have gone for it.
Yeah, why not? Just it's all about YOLO.
Could have taken Dark Potato if you positioned correctly.
All about YOLO today, my friend. Should have been a true YOLO moment.
Could have been a true YOLO moment indeed. G2, 3,000 gold ahead, however, not quite able to push in that turret defending the base of Team Snow Avalanche. Snow Avalanche, of course, are reigning champions. They won the Summer Live Championships against Team Secret in a 5-game classic, and apparently Europe has learnt the lesson from that every game needs to go to the final match of the best of 3 thus far. Actually, G2 are looking to break a trend here because it could be the first time we've seen a A-side team win it out. Voldemar will get impaled up there. There is the fountain coming out, but Kensik now the target. He's going to get locked down by Dark Potato as well. Can he escape? Gift of Fire is used, but Dark Potato has impaled back up again along with the Githian Wall. There's the kill. It's an unbeatable Dark Potato, 5-0-9 on the Lance. I'm sure Playoff Beard will be very happy and will start adapting his build to get this Storm Crown in as well.
I think the Storm Crown build is fun. I think Storm Crown and everybody, right? Just pick Storm Crown and everything. It's fantastic. Again, yes, it could be breaking the trend. The B side will end up losing here potentially. I think what's more important to note is that we illustrated right at the start of the series when we were talking about Team Secret being our most consistent team that Snow Avalanche have the potential to be awesome, but also not so
Voldemar
awesome.
is going to get absolutely locked down. Supernova comes out. There's the Impale on towards Bastion as well. Yes, they have the ability to be awesome, but at the moment they are not being awesome at all. G2 absolutely wiping the floor with them. Snow Avalanche fallen under the weight of their own snow, I have to say.
Yeah, this is exactly the point I was making. They had the potential to be brilliant and also the potential to be fairly mediocre. And we've seen that from beating the Europeans' undoubtedly best team to losing to G2, who previously had not looked fantastic. Maybe it's the addition of Hundor. He seems to have had a fairly big impact here at 5-1-7. But honestly, G2 look amazing compared to what Snow Avalanche are putting onto the board here. And both Snow teams could end up going out on the first day. Which, if you told us that last split, then I would have been surprised.
I would have been surprised as well, I've got to admit. I think Snow have always been one of those consistent teams that in high points. However, Breaking Point's just been finished up on Voldemar. You've got Broken Myth on Kentasik. There's a Tyrant's Monocle on Voldemar as well. Perhaps they can get back into this.
Perhaps they can get back in. I think you cut off at the end there, Sona, so I will just...
Well, I did, because I sneezed. And so I cut myself off,
you've
so
caught
people
the
didn't hear my
sneeze.
sneeze.
You've caught the sneezing disease. I see.
Have.
Well, Tyrant's Monocle potentially. Maybe that burst will have an impact, but realistically, you know, Redix is the target that you want, and I don't think Dark Potato is going to make it easy for you to get there. Although, let's note, Dark Potato does not yet have any armor.
In fact, armor, man. You just need kills.
Yeah, there is Full Metal Jacket on Redix, and Hundo has picked up an Atlas Pauldron, so they're both in the element of respecting the damage output of Voldemar, but Dark Potato...
Kensik jumps across the wall and didn't realise G2 were there. Core Collapse comes down, Kensik's dead. Dark Potato, who needs armor? Solar Storm, look at the damage of Voldemar! Holy moly, it's like the full power of the sun came down on his face. Baron, no place to go now apart from back towards the Sanctuary. They're going to look for Bastion instead, try and slow him down. There's the Core Collapse, and it's another kill for G2. They're absolutely rolling across Snow Avalanche here. They're never going to give him up. They're Rick-rolling them across the board. And G2, 20 kills to 6. Just destroying the reigning champions.
I'll tell you, they're not being quite Rick-rolled. I mean, they are definitely not letting us down, but I tell you what, they are running around and hurting Snow Avalanche. And they could be knocking them out today before they get into the series tomorrow. And G2 have looked pretty fantastic. I've got to say, I still don't know where Baron fits. You know, compositionally in a competitive setting, I don't yet know where Baron comes into play.
Well, we said that about many heroes in the past. You know, Lance always plays in Aroma when he started off, and then people realised you could play him as this core Lance, and it works incredibly well for him.
Yeah.
When we started seeing Lyra, lots of people played her in lane. I thought,
Sure.
you know, you could play this sort of alternating current Lyra, but I'm sure Baron will find his spot. Maybe, in my opinion, he's strongest in the jungle. You play sort of an aggressive, early aggro style jungle where you go in for those invades. There's the Bright Bulwark going to be used by Hundor looking for the kill. There's the burst from Bastion. Yummy Cabinet Frenzy, though, on towards the backline already. They picked up one kill. Now Hundor, the target. Porcupine Missile after Porcupine Missile will hit on towards the target. Dark Potato should fall as well, and Snow Avalanche pick up an ace. Just to never finish a game in our lives. They're gonna stop him from being able to take down these Vein Crystal turrets. The Kraken is pushing in. We'll take down one, but shouldn't get two just quite yet.
I think that's because I think Celeste just got far too close to the enemy team. I think they just completely disrespected the damage output that actually you can see Snow Avalanche starting to build up. That's a 3-item Voldemar right now. He's got a little bit of critical strike behind him. The longer the fights go on with that breaking point, he will start to do lots and lots of splash damage. Do you need to respect that Baron right now actually has got a serious damage output? That's why I'd like to see Dark Potato really think about some armor at some point, or at least a reflex block of some sort, which he doesn't have either. Doesn't look like he's building it either. He's picked up a heavy steel, so Dark Potato just gone full DPS at this point in time. I think Baron will work, and I think Baron will work as a ranged carry, like a typical, maybe late game orientated ranged weapon power carry. But he needs peel. I think he needs that ability to be able to kite backwards, and in this composition, it's very difficult to do so. You've just got the only person that can kite for you is First of Judgment, which is, you know, with the Crucible, quite easy to get out, and obviously Hundo has prioritized Crucible. It makes absolute perfect sense that he should do. So I think what Baron will come in as a good ranged weapon power carry, or some sort of wombo combo with his crystal power. You know, combine it with a Finn, maybe combine it with a lot of CC. We might see some crystal power Baron come through.
Never know. You never know what you're going to get. These teams always surprising us. G2 looking for the fight once again, going to get on towards Bastion. Impale doesn't land.
Didn't pull the trigger quick enough. Simply didn't pull the trigger. Could have pulled the trigger a little bit quicker there, but does burn the boot cooldown here, so G2 have a small opportunity here to do something about it. Dark Potato, Bastion maybe overstepping here.
Got the Water Heads on Hundo if they want to go for it. Porcupine Mortars are coming out. Here's Dark Potato, Impale onto Voldemar. They're looking to take down the Baron first. Kentasik will jump onto the backline. The burst comes out, but Kentasik not able to clean up Redix, and now Bastion caught all the way between his team and his hard place. He's going to get taken out. Kentasik's falls as well. G2 have this. They take the ace. They can look for the base as well. They should be able to push in both these, well, the singular crystal turret that's remaining. And G2 are going to take down the reigning champions. 2-1 here over Team Snow Avalanche. G2 taking it through to the second day. They'll be joined by all of the other teams that have won today in the best of three. It's great play all around here in the Evil 8. G2 take it over the reigning champions with a great lineup into a Baron that really disappointed, in all honesty.
Yeah, so tomorrow we'll see Team Secret, Gankstars, Rising Lotus, and G2, I believe. Get a double check on that from the analyst, but I think that's who we will see. Specifically, I don't want to harp on about this too much. I just think the composition wasn't quite right for Baron here. Definitely think he needs more peel if you're going to down the weapon power route. Crystal power route might have made more sense. You know, they're grouping up with G2. Maybe you combine that with the Yummy Catnip Frenzy. That might have made sense, but I just don't feel like